Hello there. It is Liz from Liza Jane Designs in the Afton Creative Arts Studio coming to you tonight in a pre-recorded live video. So this is me live, meaning I'm not editing this at all. But as you're viewing it, I am not in my studio. I am at a family event that I just could not postpone. It was today or never. And I am here so that I can meet my obligations, if you will, to this fabulous project, this fabulous Friendship Journals on a Journey project that we have been. It's been 6 whole months since we started, and I, from the Afton Creative Arts Studio, boy, I know I've been through a lot in those 6 months, as happens when we start a big project. We're at the beginning of it. We don't know what's going to unfold. I and my friends, Cheryl, Bev, Christy, Amanda, and Michelle, have been through some things in these 6 months, right? I know Bev has moved states. I have had some medical issues. I've had lots of ups and downs in my family and in our local area here in Minnesota. So it is just awesome to be on a journey with such creative and wonderful people and to look back on everything we've been through as we have been enjoying creating for each other. So I am here in my studio this morning so I can show you my friendship journal as it has completed its journey. Michelle from Michelle Bell in Kansas is the person who sends to me. I am going to pop this guy open right now. This guy has been around. If you've been watching the other presenters, you probably know that. Let me poke this down here. We started by making our own covers. We started back in January. I don't remember the date, but it was the very first Sunday in January. And we created the cover. We created the cover for our journal, which I mailed my cover to Cheryl, Mama P's Crafty Creations, and the genius behind the Crafty Bunch. So Cheryl put the first signature in my friendship journal, and it continued on to Bev and Christy and Amanda and Michelle, and now I have it back. So I'm going to lower. I'm doing this low tech today too, just one camera on my computer so that we can just get down to business here. I'm going to lower this down. Well, I'm going to raise it back up for a minute and point out that I wore my best boho dress today because we are Team Boho. Cheryl, Bev, Christy, Amanda, Michelle, and I. Team Boho all over I think we're middle of the country and east. So we represent states of Minnesota and Missouri and Florida, Virginia, Indiana, all those places that this friendship journal has journeyed. I'm going to pop her open and let's see what we've got. I've missed this journal. Oh, ta-da-da-da. Oh my goodness, look at this. Just look at this. I'm going to untie. I put the closure on it back in January, made from two ribbons, a brown, goldy brown satin and this beautiful velvet, which has done its job to hold these pages together. I know Mama P created this because I saw her adding it to my journal. I don't know if it came off in transit or if she's allowing me to decide its placement, but let's just take a look from the beginning, from the cover, which I made from an old hardcover book that happened to be a beautiful shade of blue. So that was my first inspiration, was the blue of the hardbound book. When I see Kantha cloth, and if you're familiar or if you're not familiar, Kantha cloth usually comes from India, and it's a hand-sewn quilted fabric, lots of designs, and I love Kantha cloth and Kantha cloth quilts. And to me, they are very, very, very boho. So I used parts of a blue Kantha cloth quilt that I had, and I cut parts of it out and adhered them to the front of my book, and I used them to make my spine. Mama P directed us to have a spine that was at least this wide to allow for attaching the 5 signatures as this book made its way around the country. So everyone has signed in, or excuse me, everyone has sewn in the signatures that they added to my book. And Mama P created this lovely, I'm gonna put that on now that it's arrived safely home. Maybe I'll get to attach it today while we're live. I don't know. I just want to show you what all is here. I'm so excited to have this back, and I'm so happy that Mama P and I and the group found a way that I could participate in this and be there for my family as well. Because, you know, we love to create, and we totally love and support our families, and we want to do all those things, have the fun and be there for our people. I'm going to turn it upside down so you get to see it and I can see it from upside down. This was Mama P's first. She was the first to add a signature, and she added it to the back of my book. This whole experience has been, for me, as I received each person's book and was inspired by their creativity. I'm going to come back up here, and their choice of colors and their motifs. It was so fun to step outside my own comfort zone, my own color palette choices, and create in my style, but influenced by another creative style as well. So we combine we combine our energies in this. So Mama P, I am very sure, looked at my cover, which was blue and gold, and she acted in kind and added beautiful blue gold imagery here. And each of us, inspired by the work of who came before, just added, and that was so much a part of the fun here. So Mama P used these blue and gold floral images and added amazing fiber detail with ribbons that I'm sure she may have cut herself and attached. We have beautiful lace, again, blue, notes in gold that say, "Enjoy the journey." I don't know how Mama P knew this, but I love ledger paper, maybe because most all of us do, but we have some beautiful ledger paper. It says this is from the Polk County Farm, and she backed that up with more beautiful floral blue and gold imagery and blue and gold ribbons sewn into the binder. So much fun. Forget what these are called, these binder tacks, or with where they fold that way. I used those in some of my work, and she has an L here. I'm thinking she chose that for me because my name is Liz, and Liza Jane is my inner artist. So this little tassel is just gorgeous, made from silks and novelty yarns with such wonderful texture. More gold writing saying carefree, and these fabulous clips, gold clips that are holding, and so much fun. I've got, this is 7 divided by 7, which we know is 1, right? But if you look at it kind of funny and wonky, to me, it almost looks like it says Liz. So that's a wonky Liz, 7 divided by 7. Cheryl, don't know if you did that on purpose, but I'm taking it. Gorgeous lace that looks like it came from someone's wedding gown. It just has sparkles in there. And old-fashioned buttons still on their card from when they were sold for, I don't know, not very much money back in the day. 80 cents, it says. So this original card says these buttons were 80 cents when they were purchased by the original purchaser. More beautiful designs here. I'm thinking Cheryl created this paper with tea dye and tea or coffee and some lines that just made impressions in here. Gorgeous tip outs and tags, label dividers, more beautiful imagery typeset, embossed, a butterfly sewn onto this page. I'm having a hard time reading upside down here, but this says teach, share, inspire, which is really what we are all about in this effort, is creating and teaching and sharing and hoping to inspire one another. Look at these beautiful details in this tag created from a simple craft. It's a heavier weight. It's not craft paper. It's like craft cardstock, and gorgeous music paper added, hand stitching. The detail here, I could spend hours and weeks and months going through each thing that each artist added to my journal and that we did for each other. Again, this is just Mama P's. This is one gorgeous, look at this pin, this beautiful, beautiful, large safety pin, another butterfly, and another beautiful tassel from silk and beads and just gorgeousness. We have more ledger paper. We have more pockets and tucks and someone's family enjoying time together, as I will be doing later today, thanks to the magic of pre-recording. So here is some family imagery tucked right into this pocket. of crocheted and antiqued, distressed cotton embroideries and crocheted pieces, more safety pins, and I don't even know what to call this. It's kind of like a tassel, but it's a flat tassel. And another note that says, oh, how nice. Liz, what a joy to get to know you and create for you. I hope you feel seen and loved, Cheryl. And don't we all want that, to feel seen and loved for who we are? And it's small, it's simple, and it's so vitally important. We have here too a get well message. I'm wondering if that was included in my book, because soon after I created my cover, I spent a fair amount of time in the hospital in downtown St. Paul. Came out by February though, or late January, and I'm doing great now. But it's things like being seen and feeling love that add to my healing. So thank you for all of the beautiful things in this signature, Cheryl. I'm going to move on now to signature number 2, which, let's see if I can find the beginning and the end. Up here it is, signature number 2. This would have been created by Bev. And I don't know if you can tell that this begins with a very pale blue, again, influenced by my color choices. And we jive with each other. We form those ties in friendship by, oh, I see what she did here. Let me riff on that. Let me follow that lead. So we have beautifully blue dyed papers here. And there's fun notes. More beautiful tags and secret places where things are hidden. And we've got the gold and the blue again used here, adorned with just fun details that get tucked in to all the magic places here. This has been so darn much fun that I want to create a similar experience for local people here in Afton. So if anyone is watching from my local area, if you're interested in doing a project like this as a group thing, reach out to me. We're going to get something going yet this year so that we can share the joy of creating for and with each other. More beautifully dyed blue papers. I need to know more about how these were all created. We've got pockets. Let me see if I can read this guy. It says, a mindful morning begins not with the rush. Now that's something for me to always remember. I don't want to rush into my days. I don't want to rush through my days. An artist I follow from the UK recently posted something about realizing she was rushing through the things she used to pray for. So she got what she was wanting and living for, and then proceeded to just quickly go, well, okay, what's next? And we never really get into our joyfulness if we don't sit with the things that we have prayed for and wanted in our lives. And when we get them, I don't mean to be too preachy here today, but rushing into our days and rushing into our activities For me, it leaves me cold and hollow, and I want to slow down. Beautiful reason to create friendship journals as well. More butterflies, the number 12, these sweet little tags, backed in blue, Melbourne Board of Works, tucked into sweet little pockets with flowers and girls and circles and ribbons and just so much thoughtfulness. We have another tag with a key that's been added here. Miracles happen when you believe. Always be kind. Miracles happen when you believe, and miracles can be appreciated when we slow down enough, right, to let them register in our consciousness. So many wonderful things have come my way, and if I don't slow down and see them coming, they could just skate right by. More butterflies and beautiful blue dyed papers and fabrics. OMG, this is just a gorgeous hand-stitched piece on paper. So we have a paper. I could do notes. Of course, I'm not going to on this one because it's too beautiful. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. And once in a while, take it out and handle it because it feels delightful. And this little patch of hand-stitched awesomeness just really makes me happy. And Bev, thank you for these beautiful details. I'm going to tuck that in, and oh goodness, we have transparent paper here. I'm going to think that's I don't know what kind of paper it is, but it's beautiful. You can see through it. You can see the butterfly through there. And as I take that out, we have a sweet little note card place that opens up, and it's got multiple pages inside. So darn cute, sweet, detailed, and lovely. I waited. We are healed. We have Be a Dreamer, more beautiful butterfly and floral imagery. This appears to be an actual, maybe dried flower that's attached. Gifts from nature via our friendships, just gorgeous. Tucking those in. The amount of love and detail that went into every page and every detail here. I so love and appreciate that. So that is the signature created by Bev. We're going to move on to Christy. I'm going to make sure I'm getting these quite right. Michelle would have been the last. So we have, again, Christy Boho Designs, blue as my cover, and wonderful little tucks and floral designs. I love postage stamped, canceled postage stamps. We've got a lot of that imagery here. I think many of us who love junk journaling or friendship journals, any kind of this, we share a love for certain imagery like canceled stamps and postmarks and physical things that just tell a story and a history. Beautiful peacock with fabric across here, the blue, all of the different shades of blue that are created here, and pockets that house whatever we choose to put in. Look at this gorgeous blue butterfly. Fabrique. This is French, which I haven't practiced in many, many years. Beautiful. I also love the French language. It's just romantic and sounds lovely. Even if I don't pronounce things right, I think they still sound okay, but I'm not going to try today. Beautiful blue butterfly. Transparent papers. The layering is just gorgeous. Forget-me-nots. Nice additions here of pockets and notes. And gorgeous little reminders of how much details matter. These are just so many beautiful shades of blue. Loving all of this. Love the tucks, love the notes. Love the places I can still record my thoughts or add additional things. Something that Christy did, I know, in each journal is she added a fun, funky grandma image, because all of us on Team Boho are grandmas, and I feel honored that I get this fun, freewheeling, freestyling cowgirl grandma who looks like she's loving life. And that is certainly my goal, is to love every bit of life that is yet to be given to me and appreciate all that I've gotten already. So I'm going to tuck that back in here. Thank you for that, Christy. Thanks for choosing a joyful cowgirl for my grandma image. I love it. Moving on to what I believe is Amanda's signature. Again, wow, alcohol inks, I think, are used in here with some embossing and glittery awesomeness. I love the way alcohol inks move on a page. This says beautiful, and we have the fibers and fabrics all stitched down with some aged lace. The blues and the golds, again, responding to what I started with, and just including a lot of beautiful imagery that way. Always level up. That is great advice too. Level up and then appreciate where you are. That's important for me. Level up and acknowledge that I've leveled up. Stay there and enjoy that and appreciate it before I level up again. This is, I don't know if you sent this to me in particular, Amanda, but it strikes to my heart. It says, stop shrinking. Stop shrinking to fit places you've outgrown. I kind of think many of us do that. We grow into ourselves, and then other people sometimes are uncomfortable and they say, well, you've changed. And it's like, well, I certainly have. And I hope you will as well, because we're on this earth to grow and change, I think. Look at how beautiful that is. I don't know if you can catch the glitteriness and the shimmer of these flowers. The detail that is added is just fabulous. They're explosive in the best way. They are just gorgeous blues and golds and shimmer and texture. And I absolutely love it. If you could feel the fibers here, These are silks and laces and more alcohol ink images here. I am blown away by how gorgeous this is. A pattern, Miss size 10, Simplicity, piece G. It reminds me of home economics when I was in 7th and 8th grade, when that was still studied in school. I think it's sad that we don't teach kids, but we're doing our best here in the Afton Creative Arts Studio to bring some of these homey, learning how to sew, learning how to stitch, learning how to create and knit and crochet, or whatever anybody wants to kind of dabble in and try. Look at that old picture. Fun. You remember cameras that had film? Remember that, you guys? Of course you do. Time is precious. Waste it wisely. Beautiful alcohol inks and glittery shine again. Let's see what we have here. We have a little tuck in a pocket and some note cards that I can add things, words of thanks, perhaps, for the friendship shown here. Look at that gorgeous doily that's been embellished with stamps and other imagery. Is this a belly band? I'm now with some of the terminology and beyond. But here, I guess we're at the halfway point. Amanda's signatures are always picture. I am becoming, I am enough proud, I am feeling, I am learning, I am avoiding. So I can fill in my journals where I write. These little prompts are a great way to get started expressing myself and my feelings and what I'm proud of, what I'm learning. And maybe for me, one of the important ones is I am avoiding. What am I avoiding? Because an answer could be in there for what I need to grow some more. Belly band. Do I have that right? I think I have it right. This is where I want to remind you guys that I'm recording this live, as in I'm not editing anything, but I won't be able to see your comments until tomorrow, and I will read them all and respond. And I thank you for watching live or on a replay. We've got sealing wax that says love, a beautiful little music paper folded into, I don't know if you can see the folds, but it's folded into a ruffle and stitched down and closed off with a sealing wax. More gorgeous embellished doilies, paper doilies, more of that Miss size 10 pocket from the dress pattern we saw on the other page, and alcohol ink designs and these silks. I just have to keep touching them. They're beautiful. They feel great. The colors are gorgeous. The patterning, blue and gold throughout. More sunflowers and gorgeous textile additions. silks and lace and glitter. Amanda, you give so very much in all that you offer. These are sweet as can be. We have a bunny with a violin and a bear with a fishing pole. And I don't know what this squirrel's doing. He appears to be playing a board game. Maybe he's a stamp collecting squirrel. I love these. Maybe the fishing bear is my favorite. I don't know. I'm going to put him on the top. He's my favorite of the moment. Tomorrow, I might favor a different one. Love the little parts that dangle off. Little bit of thread and a ripped piece of paper. I don't know why that makes me really happy, but it does. And I'm going to be careful not to tear it off. We've got strings hanging there and more of these gorgeous stitched and glittery alcohol inked pages. A wise woman can predict the future because she creates it. Beautiful. And that is that part. So gorgeous. Thank you, Amanda, for all the love and effort you put into that. You are incredibly creative and generous, and I love that. And then we get to signature number 5, the last signature that was added to my book to make it this full, incredible journal. So this would be the addition of Michelle from Michelle Bell Creations in Kansas. Michelle and I share much in common, and I have so much respect for her and all the beautiful things she creates and does. So I'm going to turn it around so I can read some of this. Yes, her imagery it's consistently fun and boho and gorgeous with the, I don't know, old-fashioned women. This says, "My darling, you are a work of art. Friendship journals on a journey. Michelle Bell." More beautiful tucks and belly band action and pockets and tags and butterflies. Fun washi tape. Blue again, the blue and gold imagery, the coffee stained of the pockets on different levels. This is a pocket and a pocket and a pocket with beautiful detail. A little dog. A sweet girl. I could see Michelle being that sweet and adorable at one time, because she's pretty much that sweet and adorable still. So I'm going to tuck those back into their pockets, and we'll continue on into the examination of this friendship journal signature. My goodness, look at this. This is just tucked in, and it's another pocket. Is this attached? That's part of the pocket. That's part of that. Very sweet imagery on here. Love these colors. Do you know how many shades of blue there are? I think it's infinite. More, my words are not coming to me, but this paper that's crunchy and crispy and translucent. If you're watching and you leave a comment, Thank you. If you can tell me what this is. More gold, the highlighting on here of, just wiggle that around, see if you can see that. And this has created a whole page-sized pocket with some gorgeous silk at the bottom and little attachers. Great paper made into a sweet little envelope. I'm sure Michelle created this envelope herself. I love that. We'll tuck that back in here. More shades of blue and shiny gold on, I think it might be a coffee filter. It feels like that kind of awesome porous paper. So whether it is a coffee filter or it's cut from something else, it's that gorgeous, drinks in what you put on it, porous, thin, translucent paper. The feeling of the papers and the fabrics and the laces and fibers, they're just rich and beautiful. We have Philippians 3 and 4. Don't know if turning against false teachers. Paul exhorts the brethren. Therefore, my brethren, dearly beloved and longed for, my joy and crown, to stand fast in the Lord, my dearly beloved. Beware of dogs and evil workers. The paper feels very old and thin, like it came definitely from someone's old family Bible. And look at this guy. Wow. The blues, the golds, the swirls, the designs, just gorgeous. I'm going to turn again and see what we have here. Michelle has an affinity for women of mystery and strength and power, and one is represented right here. She's beautiful, and you know there's a lot more going on behind those eyes. This gorgeous creation here, don't even know how it was done, but it feels beautiful. And there's, I don't know, how do we execute these things, guys? How do we make them? That's part of the fascination when I see them, is like, wow, how was that done? And it probably can never be repeated exactly. It's like snowflakes and human beings. They're just one of a kind and a combination that's never going to be seen again. I love the pink. We're back here with blue and a gorgeous dragonfly. What I have researched and learned of the symbolism of a dragonfly is that it means ready for whatever comes next. So that's what I embody when I see a dragonfly, or that's what I try to remember, that we're always on a journey. We aren't what we were, and we're not yet what we're about to become. So being ready for what comes next, always a good idea. Penmanship. My children don't know how to write in cursive. I think that's a shame. We're gonna try to train kids up in that here if they want to learn cursive too. Hate to see lost arts. Arts should be preserved, and cursive writing is one of those. Gorgeous detail in this blue butterfly. These swirly marbled papers are just beautiful. How everyone was able to find such variety in the blue and gold papers and imagery that they attached. Beautifully fierce and fiercely beautiful. Those are powerful, powerful words. And I want to emulate those, I guess. I feel like my friends on this friendship journal have been wonderful examples of beautifully fierce and fiercely beautiful women. And just wonderful reminders of how rich life can be when we appreciate the stuff nature brings us, all the colors in the world, the fibers and textures and possibilities that are endless. Ooh, a fold out with more fun things in this envelope. Incredibly gorgeous and sweet. And I get to look at this across the months and years and remember Michelle and how delightful she is and everything she brings to the table every day in her work. And it's just a reminder to me of the really incredible people I know and have the privilege of working with and being with. This is fun. Are you reaching? I don't know what it says, because the bird's on top, but I love the bird. I don't know, Michelle, did you cut this out of something? It looks like, to me, it looks like just a fun design on a piece of watercolor or Yupo paper, some kind of paper that took in all these great colors and then was cut up to be this fun bird. This is the, do I have favorite parts? I don't know. I have too many favorite parts. We've got one side is card. The other side is card with embellished, with stripes, with words and fabric in the middle that's very fine. It's a finely woven, I don't even know if it's silk but it's very delicate and beautiful, and it's between those two pieces of card stock. I love these little clips. These little clips just add so much fun. More gorgeous boho style bohemian papers that, yes, we're just going to clip that guy back on there. Words on old lightweight paper. I can imagine it's been handled by hands over decades and more. That coffee filter we saw earlier. Beautiful feather. This book is just so full of so much beautiful detail. Look at all my blue butterflies. And there's that dragonfly again, ready for whatever comes next. And a beautiful fairy in her fairy garden. These are fabulous. We've got a pocket right there, beautifully outlined and attached. And we come to the end of that gorgeous signature. So we have been through, we've taken this journey around a good part of our country. I'm just blown away by them. I'm going to lace this back up. I'm going to open again. I understand that my video will be last in the order tonight. So I will be broadcast at 9 p.m. Central Time. I think that gives me a little, I've been 50 minutes. I may not make it to my full 60 because I've shown you everything inside of this fabulous, beautiful journal. I am going to find a way to add the flower that Cheryl created probably on the front cover in a great spot. And with the time I have left, I just want to again say thank you to Cheryl Parrish, Mama P, for putting this whole adventure together. We were Team Boho, but there were 3 other teams that Mama P coordinated all of what we were doing. And I know the women involved, I'm sure, like myself, had a great deal of fun and gave it their all in putting together signatures for the books belonging to our friends. Now, when I started this journey, my friends in the Boho group included Michelle and Amanda. And when I'm done with it, now I have 3 new friends in Cheryl and Bev and Christy. And we learned about each other by creating for each other and by putting ourselves into each other's shoes, I guess, or at least in each other's creative brain for a bit, so that we worked in each other's styles and colors. And it's just been an honor. It's been exciting. It's been fun. And it's also interesting to look back and say, wow, a lot has happened in my life and in the world and in each other's lives in these past 6 months. And we bring it all together and we can remember our time spent creating for each other. I just love all that. So I'm not going to try to stretch my talk out to be the full 60 minutes. That would probably be deathly boring for anyone. But I am going to say thank you to everyone who has watched and been a part of this. Thank you to Cheryl and Bev and Christy and Amanda and Michelle for being the best Team Boho ever imaginable. And I hope we can continue to be friends and continue to support one another in our creative journeys and in friendship always. So thank you much. I'll say goodbye for now. And please leave your comments. I will read them. I will respond. And I just really appreciate you being here. So if you're ever in Afton, Minnesota, come see me, please, at the Afton Historic Schoolhouse and Creative Arts Studio. We are the home for the creatively curious, ages 5 to 105. I always say we accept people younger than 5 as long as their parents hang around here with them. And anyone over 105 gets to do everything for free. I do ask for ID. Any reasonable form of identification will work. If you are 106 or above, everything is free. Materials, classes, beverages, it's all free. So we are the place for 106-year-olds. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. I suppose by the time you see this, it's over. Blessings to all, and I will catch you on the next journey. Thanks again. Liz, out.